failure hits all of us at one time or another, whether it's through a failed relationship, loss of a job, or another personal loss. It's what we do with that failure that can make or break us for future success. With me here is Deborah Youngblood, author of the new book, Successful Failure. Thank you so much for joining me.
Good to be here, Angie.
Now, what is so important about failure that you would write about it?
Well, it's the most common thing that we all face, and yet we just never want to talk about it. And by not talking about it, we think we're the only ones that ever experience these things, whether it's a job loss, a divorce, financial problems. And as we talk about it, we realize everybody's got a pretty good failure story that ended up being very good.
Exactly, yeah. You wrote this book because of some personal experience?
Yeah, that was one of the hardest parts for me, was to put my own stories out there, and I knew I couldn't do it any other way, and that's been the most rewarding, because as people have read it, they've given me that feedback and say, it's gotten me to think about and talk about something that I experienced. And so yeah, I unfortunately have a lot of failure, but I can't tell you all about it or nobody would buy the book, and then I'd be a failure as an author, so I don't want to do that.
Exactly. From reading a little bit about what you've done, you've had a lot of success, so it's interesting to say that you've had failure as well.
Well, and that's the point that I really wanted to make. The success that I've had has been almost completely because of the failure that I had. The things that I learned by learning how to persevere and in learning how to grow in character and figure out what was really important in my life led me to make better decisions. So the failure ultimately led to the success.
Right, very nice, very nice. So who does this book apply to then?
I think just about everybody. You know, the poet Philip Schultz says that failure is the great American taboo, and because we all experience it but we don't want to talk about it. And I've been really interested in the cross-section of people who've come back and said, this really spoke to me.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. So how would you say, how do we overcome the hurt from failure? Because failure itself, I'm sure that's hard to say, this is how you overcome it. But what about the hurt?
Well, that's the important thing. The first fruit of failure is pain. And sometimes as I went to read the material, people wanted to put people into one or two categories. They either wanted to treat them like a victim, which never works, or they wanted to treat it with kind of a happy fake it till you make it approach, which ignores the fact that it's always painful in the beginning. And so we have to learn how to deal with that pain, listen honestly to the feedback that we get from the failure, whether it's a divorce or losing a house or any number of things that we face. And from that, we start to persevere, we start to grow in character, and we start to really learn what's right.
Now, you're from Yukon, Oklahoma.
Yes.
And you said that, I think I noticed in the book, you said you hadn't really seen anybody else write about this subject.
No, that was what really drove me to it. When I was experiencing the depths of my own failure, I was so frustrated, and I tried to find some sort of material, somebody who was saying what I was experiencing, and I couldn't find it. So other authors I've talked to and people who've written a lot tell me it's the most comprehensive look at failure that's on the market today, and that's kind of gratifying.
That is nice. And I think you even said something about there's a difference between perseverance and endurance.
Yeah, if we think of perseverance, we think, oh, I just have to endure and get through this failure that I'm facing. Perseverance is about trying different things. It's about backing up and saying, okay, that didn't work, why not? What if I tried this instead? And perseverance is a good thing, and it's something especially with our kids that we need to teach them how to fail well, how to learn how to persevere, because kids today don't necessarily fail, they reboot, and things are just real quick and easy.
Right. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, so obviously everybody needs to realize that failure is going to be there. It's just how you handle it and overcome it and use it for your good.
Yeah, that's the key. It's not the failure that's the problem, it's what you do with it that's the problem.
Wow, wonderful. Obviously a very insightful book. For more information, what's your website?
Our website is successfulfailure.net, and we'd love to have folks come and check it out.
People can find out where your book signings are on your website.
Successfulfailure.net.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Angie.